Hey, man. What are your New Year's resolutions?
All right. You want to know my New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I know you set some goals and you're going to start on January 1st. And this is going to be the year, 2024. This is your year.
Yes.
This is the year that you finally take off.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Because I'm going to manifest and make it my year, right?
Whoa.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You said what?
I'm going to manifest.
Whoa.
You got to manifest it.
Fuck no.
So I find this very funny. I see on YouTube and we don't have social media anymore really, but on YouTube and I'm sure on social media there's gonna be like a whole bunch. Oh my gosh, what is your New Year's resolutions? Like, what are you planning to do? What do you want to do in 2024? Like blah blah blah. Like personally, if we're being candid here, I think New Year's resolutions are very stupid. And I want to say forget New Year's resolutions. And I'm saying forget as a replacement of another word. So I really think that New Year's resolutions is just a different way to procrastinate. And it may not sound like it initially. Like you hear, oh yeah, we're going to do New Year's resolutions. I have a New Year's resolution. I'm setting this goal, whatever. But most people come up with their New Year's resolution before the New Year's gets there. And they say, hey, look, I'm going to try to do this on this day in the future. Why would you wait until a day when everybody else is supposedly trying to do something to do what you know that you need to do? If you have that mentality about anything, I can tell you right now, you're probably not going to make it too far. Why? It's because you're waiting like everybody else. You're following or falling in line with everyone else. You are following the crowd like everyone else. So if you're doing that as opposed to saying, hey, look, fuck a New Year's resolution. I'm going to do what I need to do right now, whether I like it or not. You're going to be just like everyone else. So you having this New Year's resolution is not, and we all know this. We all know that most people break their New Year's resolutions probably within a month, if that. So how to attack 2024, which we're probably going to title this podcast sarcastically. Everybody has these YouTube videos up. Everybody has these posts up saying, how you should do this shit or blah, 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 blah. But we're not going to sugarcoat shit here. We're not going to tell you, set goals, blah, 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 blah. You got to set your goals. Like, no, we're not going to say that bullshit because that should be something that you should do anyway. You shouldn't be setting your goals for tomorrow or for next year or whatever and how you plan on doing something next year. Why is it only next year? Why do you have to do this on a yearly basis? Why isn't it something like, hey, look, I'm going to change my life now, and I'm going to continue to do this not until 2024, but until the rest of my life? Because that's what most people do. They're like, okay, 2024, I'm going to do this. 2025, I'm going to do this. 2026, I'm going to make sure I do this. Why not try to make yourself a better person all around now and continue that for the rest of your life? So I just think this whole 2024 New Year's resolution thing, just New Year's resolution thing in general, it's just so stupid. It's something that we can all, not we, but it's something that I feel like losers, people who aren't very, not successful, but who aren't very disciplined.
Very small-minded individuals.
Yes, all group together and say, hey, look, we're all going to do this thing and make it a big thing, make it trendy, and all this shit so we can be in it together. And then if somebody fails, then it's like, oh, okay, I wasn't even trying to do mine for that long either. Like, so it's okay. It's like a big loser circle. Like, yeah. I hate to put it like that because I'm not saying that I'm just better than everybody or anything else, but it's, if you're undisciplined, if you're getting around a whole bunch of undisciplined people trying to do, one thing and somebody fails or you all fail, you're not going to feel bad about it because it's like, okay, it was an unrealistic goal in the beginning because you didn't fix the thing that you are in the group for anyway. You didn't fix the discipline part. So I'm not expecting shit out of New Year's resolutions for most people.
And you know the adage that you are the accumulation of the 5 people you spend the most time with?
Yeah.
I feel like this is an extension of that, because rather than grouping yourself with 5 losers, you group yourself with thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions or billions of losers. Like you just said.
And it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It's like, oh,
failure is okay.
I have company. I have people to fail with.
Right. So if I fail, it's okay.
It's okay because I know Johnny failed. I know
So I
Tim
can fail.
failed. I can fail. You know, why not?
Why the fuck not?
But you know what? It's crazy too. It's easier to fail when you have a lot of people doing the same thing as you and you fail, and then you see somebody else fail and it's like, oh, okay, that's nice. However, it's harder to fail alone doing the shit that you need to do that you know most people aren't willing to do in the first place. So if you say, hey, look, I know that I need to get in shape, so I'm going to get on a strenuous workout plan, super, super hard. I'm the only person doing it. Nobody else is willing to do that shit but me. And I do it and I fail. It's probably going to hurt you more. It's probably going to hurt your ego more because people might look at you like, why were you doing that shit anyway? That's too hard. You know you can do that. I can do that. Why would you do that? Like, it's going to make you feel bad. However, of course, we say fuck that. But failing with other people and having a group of losers to be around makes you feel better. You know what? I have a story about this too. So I was in college. I was in this class. And we had this one professor. And he was basically failing everybody. Like that was his goal, actually, was to give people bad grades. He was super hard grader. He was super strict. His purpose was basically to make sure that you got out of this class and you didn't get through it easily or unscathed. I was one of maybe like 2 people that passed the class that semester, and I passed it with a C. Now, I felt at the time, I was like, well, wow, I passed. I told my mentor about it, and he told me, I told him, the story and all that shit. I was like, I got a C and all that, and all that stuff.
And you were probably proud of it at that point in time.
Exactly. At that point in time, I was like, I was in a group full of people who weren't, I don't want to say a group full of losers because I don't want to say that, but I was in a group of people that felt it was okay to underperform. They didn't really care that much. So when I got that C and I told him, I was like, I was one of the only like 2 people that passed the class, he told me, he said, and you're happy about that? Like, are you happy about a C? Like, you're telling me about a C right now? And it made me think. I was like, wait a second. I was just happy about this dumbass C. Why was I happy about a C? It was because I was surrounded by a group of people where failing or not really doing that well, it was acceptable. And that lowered my standards for myself. So when you're setting these New Year's resolutions and you're setting them amongst a group of people that aren't the top performers, because most top performers, if you look at it, do they have New Year's resolutions? Probably fucking not, because they're working year round anyway. Because when you think about it, Jose, will our days really change from fucking December 31st to January 1st? Does that change shit that we do?
Not at all.
Not at all.
It's
to
business
most people,
as usual.
Exactly. To most people, it's a big day, pop fireworks, we're going to celebrate, blah, blah, blah. Celebrate for what?
Yeah, why are you celebrating?
What the fuck is there to celebrate for?
What have you earned? Another year of life?
Exactly. What is different? December 31st and January 1st, there's nothing different about that shit except the date, the end year. That's literally it. You don't feel different. You don't gain an inch in height. You don't gain newfound wisdom every year. Just like it automatically gets implanted into your brain like some fucking software or some shit. Like, that's not what happens. There's literally nothing different. So what is there really? What's the big deal? I want to know what's the big deal. Why do we give a fuck that much about a New Year's resolution? I really don't understand. I really don't.
If you want to get into the nitty gritty, I think it actually, to a degree, I think it's motivated by economics.
I can concur.
And I want to say that it's good marketing on the part of all businesses.
1,000%.
Because imagine when holiday season comes by, at least in America, you have Thanksgiving in November. So you have Halloween, October.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving in November.
Correct.
You have Christmas in December.
Yes.
And you're like, let me make a little more cash. Let's
Right.
celebrate New Year's.
Indeed.
And so it's just boom, 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 boom. And it becomes a cultural phenom. And hey, everybody is excited to get time off. Everybody's
Right.
excited to get time and a half if they work on New Year's. Everybody's excited to celebrate, to need an excuse to drink, and then also to mentally masturbate at the idea that they are improving themselves and that they will get better. And so you get to play into the video game facade in your mind that says, yes, I'm going to change this year. I'm going to get an 8-pack. I'm going to become rich. I'm going to start my business. It's going to be great. We're going to start a podcast. We're going to succeed. Da, 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 da. Reality hits like a fucking train, and it hurts.
And like you said, bro, when these things happen, you get these new ideas in your mind and say, hey, I'm going to do this year. Hey, I'm going to do this year. Whatever. Most of the time, it causes you to put forth some type of time or money towards something else that you probably wouldn't have otherwise. So say you're going to get in shape. What does your money go to? Gym memberships.
Food. Anything that's going to help you perform.
Better food supplements. Shit like that.
Right. Protein, creatine, things like that.
Right. You say that you're going to stop watching TV as much. What are you going to do instead?
Sleep.
Read books or something like that? You go buy some more shit. Like, even if you have a New Year's resolution, you have to think about shit from a company or business standpoint. One, this is the perfect time, like you mentioned, to capitalize off of people's dumbass New Year's resolutions. And then also, as somebody who has a New Year's resolution, you're probably thinking, okay, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. But what are you allocating your time and money to? Most of the time, it's to other things, other people, and basically you're helping somebody else profit in some shape or form. So
I think actually that's interesting that you mentioned money, because I think spending habits, discontrolled spending habits, is a proponent of, I would say, mental instability. You don't have control. You're not aware of what's going on in your mind and the nitty gritty, the details. And so I'd actually say perhaps one of the reasons why New Year's resolutions are so appealing, and the illusion of, it's almost like a get rich quick mentality, a get success quick, get success easy mentality. I think it's an addiction, and it's a very clear indicator that you don't have a sober perception of A, reality, and B, your capacities and capabilities.
And you know what's sad? That just because you said that makes me realize companies are banking on this, and they're probably right 95% of the time when I'm about to say this.
Oh, yeah.
They're 95% right on the fact that you're going to submit to whatever your vice is in a matter of weeks or months. Mm-hmm. Most people do. Because like I said, people set these, resolutions and then they break them with like in a month or some shit. There's a statistic about this, actually. I have to look that up. But
I can find it. I have it right here, actually.
They're betting on it, and not even betting on it, really. It's almost a guarantee that most people that set these New Year's resolutions are going to break whatever the fucking shit that they set is. And, whenever people who tried to cut some shit off cold turkey, they cut it off for a while, and then they relapse even harder than when the fuck they were regularly using whatever the fuck they were doing. So that's usually what happens with New Year's resolution. Oh, I'm going to stop eating this, blah, blah, blah. You try to stop for a couple of weeks, then you get even more of that shit than what you were doing before. And that's kind of what they're banking on. So they're playing the long game with people, and they're banking on the fact that you're going to be undisciplined. And shit, are they wrong? Not necessarily, because most people are very, very undisciplined. So
9%, by the way.
9% after how long?
That's within a year. Shows 23% of people quit their resolutions at the end of the first week.
Told you.
And 43% quit by the end of January. That's almost 50% in less than 4 weeks. How weak?
Okay. Let's.
There could be reasons.
Let's dive into that, because I don't think people realize this, and I hate to toot our own horns here, but I'm just using this as an example, right? You say that you want some shit. Most people say that they want some shit. However, almost 50% of people that have these New Year's resolutions quit whatever they said that they were going to do within the first month. So if you really want a business, you really want to have a good body, you really want to improve your mental, all that shit, I guarantee you 1,000,000% that shit is going to take you way longer than a month to do that.
It's going to take you years.
So you think that it's going to take you years or shorter if you really vamp up the productivity, but most people don't want to do that,
right?
Because it's harder,
right?
So most people don't want to do that shit.
Well, you'd rather be pessimistic in your estimation than optimistic, because that's actually what's going to make sure that when reality hits, right, you can keep moving forward.
Correct. And that's damn near the main thing that stops people from, going far with their New Year's resolution, is that optimism, that kind of ignorant optimism, because, they think this is going to be a walk in the park. Everybody's doing this New Year's resolution. I could do it. Cool. It's going to be cool. Everybody's doing it with me. I'm going to be fine. And then the shit hits after the first week. It's like, damn, that shit is pretty difficult. Kind of don't like this. You know what? No, not doing it. And it's funny that this happened as we're going on this longer fast. So the last, I started on Monday night or Tuesday night, some shit like that. So I fasted 72 hours. And when you're doing something like this, the kind of disciplinary switch that your mind has gets tested a lot quicker than most times. Like, say if you have a New Year's resolution or something like that, that disciplinary switch isn't going to be, that difficult to, it might take longer to switch back to undisciplined. But when you're going through a 72-hour fast and you're not eating shit, that switch wants to switch back to undisciplined very, very fast. So you want to eat. You want to say, fuck that, I'm going to break it, blah, 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 blah. But when you train that disciplinary kind of strength, it doesn't. But most people, they don't have that. And again, when you say that you want these things in life, that's one of the main things that you're going to have to make sure is very, very strengthened, very honed, because whenever bullshit arises, whenever something hard presents itself in, your pathway to success, you're going to have to be able to say, hey, look, I'm going to keep going no matter what. And most people can't do that. So this New Year's resolution shit isn't something where it's like, hey, I should try to set a New Year's resolution for XYZ. You know what you should set a New Year's resolution for? Not even a New Year's resolution, a life resolution for? Discipline. If you improve that, then you could do damn near anything that you want to do. But most people, they don't know how to be disciplined. And discipline, again, we talk about foundations all the time. It's like the fucking foundation of a house. You can't build a fucking house on a round boulder. That shit's not going to fucking work. However, if you have the right foundation, is it a round boulder or is it a beach?
It's sand.
Yeah,
house on sand.
You can't build a house on sand. The shit doesn't have good foundation. So if you don't have the discipline as the foundation to whatever that you want to do, your New Year's resolution, your new life resolution isn't going to fucking work. And that's the thing that makes me upset with seeing this shit, is because people are looking at it from the wrong perspective. You're trying to attack the wrong thing. You're trying to attack the head of the weed, the top of the weed, the flowers, and you're not trying to get the roots. What the fuck is you trying to attack the top going to do? You have to attack the roots. That's going to actually kill the weeds. People aren't attacking how to grow their discipline. They're attacking the dumbass shit that is like, oh, well, how can I stop eating more cookies? I don't want to eat more cookies. I've been eating too many cookies. I'm going to stop eating cookies. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to eat 8 cookies instead of 15. Like what?
Like the tiny bullshit.
Right. You're attacking the surface. You're not attacking the problem. The problem.
Treating
the main problem.
The symptom, not the cause.
Exactly. And that's what really pisses me off about this shit, because we had to learn this and we had to learn it the hard way. So people are really, it just makes me so upset, bro, because a lot of shit that people go through, it's a simple answer or a simple solution. However, of course, it's hard to do, but the answer is damn near right in front of you. You just don't want to do it because it's hard to do. But if you did it, your life would change. And that's what I want for our viewership. That's what I want for damn near everybody in the world, is to just take the hard route for once, learn from it, and then you're going to become a better person. Like, damn, I wish I would have did that sooner. But no, you want to do shit the cute way. The cute way is not going to work. I'm going to tell you that right now. You do shit the hard way. You learn more. You're more strengthened. You're more disciplined. And then you can do all this other shit a lot easier than what you could have originally.
And I think what's dangerous that you just made me realize is when you look at a new year, it's almost like you're looking at an unlimited upgrade box per se. And you're ticking the upgrades that you want for this new year, right? I want to grow 12 inches. I want to have, 35-inch biceps. I want to have a Lamborghini. And you're just checking these things off like, oh, bam, bam, bam. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Right. Without any consideration, if you actually truly want it, you almost just jump in the hype and say, hey, this is something that I'm all in on. And that's why most people fail, because they haven't actually sat down and thought, is this truly a change I want to make? Because one of the key components of making a good, not a resolution, but good goal sets is truly understanding that why do you have to wait till January 1st to get what you want?
Do we wait till January 1st to start the shit that we do?
We do it right now.
Anything?
We do it every day.
Do we just wait for the shit that, I'm not going to go into detail, but the shit that we just fucking did some days ago, do we wait for that? No. Wait for what? So everybody else can do the shit with you? You think everybody that was successful waited for somebody else to do the shit? Or they said, hey, I'm tired of what I'm going through right now. I see a better solution. I'm going to do this right now.
Speed of execution is also important.
Right.
Because the second you're not doing it, the best version of yourself is doing it. And that version might actually be somebody else who beats you to the jump and then steals your client, steals your girl, steals your success, steals your money, steals everything, steals your spotlight, steals your fame.
And to hearken on a little bit what you said earlier, you said that people have to think about, hey, do I really want the things that I said that I want? But also, do you realize all the steps that it takes to get that thing? Because people, I feel like, are very disillusioned. They see people online, they see rich people on TV, whatever, with, say, they see a guy with a nice car, right? Or nice clothes. They're like, wow, I want a Lamborghini. Like you said, my New Year's resolution is to get a Lamborghini. Do you realize first off, how much it costs? Then do you realize how much work for you, unless it was just given to you, do you realize how much work that you're going to have to do in order to get that money to get that shit? And say instead of a Lamborghini, it was a Ferrari, right? You can't just go get one randomly. And like with certain watches as well, you can't just go to a store and say, hey, let me get that watch. The person has to know you well enough and long enough to where they believe that you are a suitable person to even purchase that in the first place, and that you're not going to fuck up what you buy, whenever you buy it. So do you know all the shit that it goes into getting the thing that you say that you want in the first place? And that's another thing that pisses me off, because people don't. They don't know. I don't even know if they care that much until they actually try it, if they even do actually try it. And then when they try, it's like, oh shit, this is difficult. Fuck that, I'm not doing it. You know? And that goes for New Year's resolutions as well. People are like, oh wow, this is more difficult than what I thought. Fuck that, I'm not doing it. And that's why most people are going to stay where the fuck they're at. And I don't want you to stay where you're at. I want you to be the people, you know, that say, hey, look, this is difficult, but I'm going to keep going. Because really, life is about perseverance. The more you push through the bullshit, we deal with bullshit on a daily basis. Little things every single day. Every single day that we have to persevere through to make our business, make our podcast, whatever it is, grow. And that's why most people stop. That's why most people stop with their New Year's resolutions. So if you are the small percentage that says, hey, look, even if this is difficult, I'm going to continue anyway, I guarantee your life will improve. I don't know if you're going to be a billionaire right off the bat, but it will improve, you know, incrementally along the way. I guarantee you that. Just persevere. Fuck a New Year's resolution. You don't need to say, hey, I'm going to start this on January 1st. Start whatever it is that you want to start now. Stop procrastinating. Stop waiting for New Year's. Stop waiting for January 1st. Stop waiting for everybody else to do shit with you. Man, go do the shit yourself. Get in the lab, make it happen yourself or with a trusted teammate, team member, teammates, and do it now. What are you waiting for? What really is there to wait for? The longer you wait, the more chance there is there's going to be people like me and Jose. They're going to take whatever the fuck that you thought that you had and do it ourselves and do it better than you. And not take it literally, but we're just going to do this shit. Well, I don't know.
We might.
So what are you waiting for?
Take your bitch.
I didn't say anything.
I didn't say it either. You didn't hear it. So I close with this. 4 ways to make your New Year's resolution stick.
Oh, let's hear it.
Set goals at the start of a time of change. Anticipate obstacles. Set milestones. And find accountability buddies. And I'll break it down very quickly for those who are confused. Set goals at the start of a time of change. Why a lot of people fail when they create New Year's resolutions is that they are not in a season of change. They're not actually ready to go on to the next step, to continue the progression of life. And when you try to force something, it almost never works. That's number 1. Number 2, anticipate obstacles. A lot of times people have unrealistic expectations about the difficulties and the amount of time and the amount of sacrifices that something takes. So expect the unexpected and always be pessimistic over optimistic when it comes to looking at obstacles, because I would rather be surprised that things are easier than be surprised that things are harder.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Set milestones. Oftentimes we set very, very large goals and it's difficult to see the forward progression. And if you set small milestones and you break down a very large goal into small, identifiable and quantifiable tasks, then your probability of succeeding goes up. And so does the little boost of motivation that you get when you succeed in the small components. Find accountability buddies. If you're the only person who's keeping yourself accountable, you're missing out on 60 to 70% of the power that you could get from having somebody on your case about, hey, are you eating those Twinkies? Hey, are you hitting the gym? Hey, are you waking up at the right time? Are you reading? Are you doing what you need to do? Because that sets another level of motivation, discipline, because now your pride is on the line, because you could be brought to shame if you fail. And those, my friends, are the 4 ways to make your New Year's resolution or any goal or any ambition stick. And that, at least, I hope provides some value to y'all who are looking to change yourself this New Year's.
And I like what you said at the end there, because really, if you follow these 4 steps here, it's not just for your New Year's resolution. If you apply this on a day-to-day basis, this can be used for the rest of your life to improve the rest of your life. So don't just look at it as something for your New Year's resolution. Look at doing this stuff to improve your total life. Because if you do these things, you do these 4 things, you're doing what most people will not do. And if you do the things most people will not do, again, you get things most people will not or can't get. So, my friends, hey, I think this has been a really great podcast. I'm not going to lie. We had a lot of things to say. And I hope you took it to heart as well and apply it. Don't just hear what we're saying. Don't just let it go in one ear and out the other. Apply it, apply it, apply it until you're tired of applying it, and then apply it some more. Because that's what we do. And that's why we're so consistent in consistently optimizing this podcast. So, hey, everyone, I guess we can say Happy New Year's.
Still a Happy New Year's.
Still a Happy New Year's.
At the end of the day, we still wish y'all success.
Yes.
And if you are setting resolutions, we pray that you are the 9% of Americans
Correct.
or un-Americans that
Right.
stick to it. Don't think that that's our way of saying, hey, don't set resolutions.
Right.
It's our way of saying, if you set resolutions, understand that there are people that don't need to because they're already making the changes. And we pray that next year you're the person who doesn't have to set resolutions because you stuck with your resolutions and you understand that resolutions don't actually matter. What matters is your day-to-day consistent changes and improvements and optimizations.
Damn right. And on that note,
The AM Club Podcast.
signing out.
The AM Club Podcast.